You were on the show alone.
Yeah, I was on another one too.
And so 22 days out in the wilderness.
24.
Plus 2 more. These contestants, such as yourself, could die.
You're making the assumptions that we're the same. And that just because you would, I would.
What are you saying?
I got out of bed on day 24. It had stopped raining and the snow was coming in. My heart rate was lowering. My pressures were down.
What's the spiritual element of that like?
I like to live in the light of Christ. I feel like I'm always under the spotlight.
Yeah. What's the most dangerous animal out there?
I think the grizzly would have been the most dangerous. And I pulled out my bow and arrow and missed twice.
Just missed? How bad are you
at
hitting
I was.
things?
I blew. First of all, I can't manhandle a grizzly bear. I just don't think you're. I don't think you're.
Got him off to a
I don't know.
Nate, I just can't figure out why you didn't win.
I know. Weird.
Could you take on 100 squirrels at once?
Yes.
What do you mean?
So could you.
100? No,
So
I
could
couldn't.
you.
Listen, I just mean if you had 2 bloodthirsty squirrels.
In that this hypothetical, it's tough being right so much, but it's honestly, it's my cross to bear. Welcome to the Here's What Happened podcast. It was funny.
I'm here.
Okay, dude.
Just wait for it to kick in.
That was funny.
Yeah. So why did you?
I'm not a Lions fan.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. I was no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
When I said
I
yeah,
was Michigan, not Ohio State.
Let me tell you, when I said yeah, I was like, yeah.
Like,
That's fine.
Moving on.
No, I am. I like.
Yeah, okay.
But really, the reason I'm up here is the snow.
Really?
I'm the North guy. All my family likes the North. We love.
I like Michigan like 10 months out of the year. March and April starts to get old.
It does.
But I mean, I love the entire summer, and then I love going into fall, and there's the salmon run starts, and deer season starts, and then you get snow, and now snowmobiling and ice fishing, and all this stuff happens, and it's just like it's always new. You know, every month is like a new thing, and so
Cool. Well, let me give an intro, and we'll get rolling.
Go for it, bro.
All right. Welcome to the Here's What Happened podcast. I'm Weston Emery. I have my brother with me today as a co-host.
hold your applause.
We were going to give one, but we also have special guest Nate. Is it Weber or Weber?
Weber.
I said it right the first time. Nate Weber, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Yeah, man. You were on the show alone.
I was, among other. Yeah, I was on another one too.
How many days were you out there?
24 days.
24 days.
I lost 35 pounds.
35 pounds. So let's start on day one.
Yep.
You get helicoptered out there on a boat?
No, we boat in. It's
Okay.
They didn't have a helicopter on this one. They just had boats.
So you boat in. What's your experience from the start? You get off and suddenly reality
Well, it's the
hits?
best. I'm the best start because I'm the fastest guy to fail on alone.
Wait, what does that mean?
I landed, walked up, and a grouse walks out right in front of me, and I look at it, and if you've ever been around grouse, they don't really care about you. They're like chickens. They're like wood chickens.
Yeah.
I don't know what a grouse
like
is.
a partridge.
Like a partridge, or
Okay.
like up there they're like ptarmigans.
Okay.
I think they're called ptarmigans.
So that scared you, so you went back.
Yeah, I got terrified. So I said, "Stop the boat! Stop the boat!" No,
I was planning on bear.
I didn't even unpack my bag. I hadn't even picked a site yet. I was just standing on the beach, taking it in on the just like 10 steps into from the shore into the woods, and there's this little this wood chicken coming through, and I pulled out my bow and arrow and missed twice. Missed twice. Not that I missed twice. I lost 2 arrows.
Oh no!
Right? So
How
I'm
many
like,
do you have?
Frunk. You get like, I think I got like 6. I think I had 4 like broadheads for deer, and then I had 2.
A third of his arrows gone.
Gone. And I just said, I'm optimistic, so I'm like, they're not lost. I'm just temporarily storing them somewhere else in the woods.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, and when
you
I
get
got
real
bored,
desperate, you'll go find
when
it.
I got bored, I just did trajectory physics, and I know ballistics, so I was like, that was my angle. I'll pace it off.
Did you find them?
Deflection. Yeah, I found both.
Oh, you did
Okay.
find him. Okay,
So,
he's back.
You have time, so I just went, let me go find my arrows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was day 1.
Well, wait, you said you were the first person to fail on alone.
That-
You just meant the first person to fail at something.
Yeah, fail. Yeah,
So-
early. Take a shot on, and I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Like I had already.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
I hadn't starved yet, but it would have been nice to have a kill. But
Oh,
I go
yeah.
off as the guy that
Absolutely.
missed.
Did you have your cameras up, or you were just like, oh my gosh?
Oh yeah,
wow.
you want to film, so
Yeah.
of course I filmed the miss, and they put it in the show.
I
No.
was watching. I was like,
And the problem with
Wow.
that is how often do you shoot a bow and arrow at 5 meters?
right.
So what you're telling
There's
me
a
is
completely different sight picture.
Yeah.
And I missed like right above the head.
Oh man,
So-
how far away was the bird?
Like 5 meters.
Okay.
Yeah, like a 5
I thought you
meters.
meant you missed by 5 meters.
No, I
was
missed.
like,
That was terrible. You should have picked another item.
I wonder if when they saw that, I bet you they immediately just knew this guy was full of crap.
That's right. He's a liar. Yeah. No, I didn't. And then I cited they didn't edit it. Maybe I didn't film it, but I missed again.
Yeah.
On day 14.
Oh, really?
I came up on a ridge when I was hunting.
At one point, you're just gonna stop filming yourself.
Yeah, I was like, maybe can I rewind, delete this?
Yeah.
I can get rid of this.
You're like,
clip.
okay, I'm gonna shoot it.
But
and if I get it, then I'm gonna refilm myself shooting.
This one, I don't know if it made it. It may have made it, but it was 2. They were together, and I missed them both.
Oh no.
Right between.
I did it.
I can't, Nate. I just can't figure out why you didn't win.
I know. Weird. You can't catch fish and you can't shoot a bow.
You said it was day 22.
That I should have left.
That you should have left. Why should you have left on day 22?
I spent the whole day laying down. It was raining outside, and I hadn't eaten in a few days, and so I was laying down and I was doing a full body assessment. Like I had been laying down all day, and I was still, my 2 outer toes were still numb. I had tingling in my fingers, so I knew that I was core, that I was only preserving energy for perfusion core, which means my heart rate was lowering, my pressures were down, and so I was like, well, I need energy for all my things, and this is a survival thing that happens.
Right.
Everything slows down, and so then I knew I was getting into ketoacidosis because I was burning ketones now, which is just muscle because I had no more fat to burn, and so when I woke up when I got out of bed on day 24, it had stopped raining and the snow was coming in, so I left my water out. It was raining all the time, so I left my pot hanging in the tree without the lid on, and it collected rainwater. And normally I'd just been drinking out of the lake because it's so cold. There's no issues. Like you can just drink straight cold.
No
but I was
bacteria or
going and
anything.
getting it, and by this time I'm fatigued. So I had a pot full of water, so I morning just tipped it back. And then it wasn't quite daylight yet, and I tipped it back, and then I got a glimmer of it. I looked in there, and I was like, it's either wood bark or it's probably squirrel poo.
So you drank this.
Yeah, but I didn't get sick. It was day 22.
I see.
So
but day 20.
I was fine. I didn't get sick from that. Otherwise, that sickness you'd have known the next day.
Right.
So, and then day 24 comes along, and the symptoms of being in acidosis is a headache, nausea, so overall fatigue. And I was like, that's not right.
But
like,
did the show make it seem like it was a squirrel poo?
100%.
Yeah, they did.
They edited it so it looked like it.
And you're so right, because there was one time that I made like a pan of eggs in the morning. Didn't realize a mouse had ran across the pan, crapped in the pan.
Yeah.
Within hours,
that's
I was
sick.
vomiting
Yep,
like
100%.
all day. So there's no
100%.
way that you went 2 days.
No.
So he eats. You like squirrel poop. You like
hate
mouse poop. I'm more normal.
Normal.
You know, I got you that Dasani, and I want to let you know that is squirrel poop free.
Good.
I heard you like it otherwise.
No, I'm not
so I
into
was hoping-
microplastics, but you go ahead.
Okay, it's not for you.
Squirrel poop's fine, but
I won't.
microplastics.
No, I'm sorry.
I got high standards for my water, guys.
That's fine. Dasani.
Dasani.
funny. It's
What's
the
what's the most dangerous animal out there? What are you afraid of?
I think the
most?
grizzly would have been the most dangerous.
Quick pause. Thank you so much for listening on YouTube. Take a quick second, flip your phone, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and then flip back and enjoy the rest of the episode. Thank you for listening.
Potential.
There's no moose out there, right?
No.
No.
And when you say dangerous, I don't just mean like you're head to head with it. I mean like, you say a grizzly is the most dangerous, but it's a squirrel that took you out. So
It wasn't even.
how many squirrels do you think in a fight? How many squirrels would it take
Yeah,
to
this is
kill
the
you?
gorilla question.
Yeah, there's a whole new question. How many?
No, I don't think it's feasible.
You don't think any squirrel could kill you?
No.
1,000 squirrels.
No. What are they? Is it in the? First of all, the question is it in the nature of a squirrel?
Okay, but
I have seen.
I've raised a squirrel once, so
you're saying a squirrel couldn't kill you, but you're 0-1 with squirrels right now. So
you're right. It is.
what?
Well, there's no proof there. There's no proof it was the squirrel. I didn't witness it.
I could maybe take on 2.
2 squirrels?
I mean, can you imagine a squirrel?
That's
like
what's
out
one more
for
than
blood?
Nate.
A squirrel that's out for blood.
Yeah, I
and
mean
just
it's the
flying all
nature. It's
over
not
you?
in the nature of a squirrel.
A rabbit
with
squirrel.
their
Rabbit
with their
But you have to stretch your imagination in that this hypothetical, you're in a room, let's say you're in the woods, okay? 100 squirrels.
100.
And they all are just trying to kill you.
Yeah. And it's just me and my bare hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Juggernaut rip a dude in half?
No. Oh, in
That's-
like the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a squirrel.
But here's the thing.
Fair.
Like,
If
you
if
can
get
tear
your
the
hands
head
on
off a
it.
squirrel.
So your answer is...
You know how many tiny bites I can handle before my hands don't work? I would tear the head off 100 squirrels.
You're just wrong about this.
Yeah, I know. I'll be wrong
here's
all
the-
day,
here's
but
the
I'm
thing.
not worried about a squirrel or
I
100
didn't
squirrels.
say you had to be worried. Like, I don't like go out to the woods and think, oh, squirrel.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be in the woods going, that's 5 squirrels. We're ganging up now.
Counting. He's counting.
My brother's limit was 2. I'm dead.
I just mean if you had 2 bloodthirsty squirrels that are like after you.
I've been
that
bitten. I've been bitten by
Okay, you know
squirrels
what?
before.
Let's do this. Since you refuse to cooperate, let's
That's
do
right.
this. Okay,
That's good.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I just don't agree. That's not
gonna give you-
cooperation.
I'm going to give you, and I need you to try and put yourself in these shoes, as unrealistic as it may be.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an amount of squirrels, and you just say more or less of how many you could take on before they kill you. Okay.
Before I exhaust myself for tearing their heads off.
There you go.
Sure. Okay. I'll just say a number, and you just say more or less. If you could take on more squirrels than what I said.
I wouldn't
Ready?
underestimate a squirrel's stamina, by the
That's
way.
right.
Okay. Here we go. 5 squirrels.
Yeah, absolutely. I could.
You
Yes.
could take on more than 5
More
at
than
once.
5
They're all
squirrels.
coming at you.
Yes.
Okay. 10
5 squirrels?
10 squirrels.
Yes, keep going. We already said 100,
All right.
so you're gonna
Could
try
you-
realistically.
Nate, could you take on 100 squirrels at once?
Yes.
What do you mean?
So could you.
100? No,
So
I
could
couldn't.
you.
Listen,
But you don't. You're measuring. Could you?
this is why you went home on
You're
day
not
22,
asking.
sir.
You're not asking. Am I successful? It's could I?
Would you die?
No. What is your fear of squirrels? There's got to be a phobia of this, a rodent phobia.
Hang on. One squirrel just comes flying at me. It grabs onto my face. I'm pulling it, and it's just
It's
ripping
not
my
a
face.
chimpanzee, bro.
Hang on,
It's
hang
a
on.
squirrel.
Hang on.
Their mouth, their
Hang
teeth
on.
are like this
Those
big.
claws is biting my face. I'm trying
No.
to pull it off, and another one grabs my
I think
arm.
you're
and it's-
overestimating
Dude, if a
squirrels.
squirrel was grabbing you, I don't think you could grab it and just rip it off. I think it's gonna have its teeth and its fingers,
Yeah.
and you can't just
I think
rip
we.
a squirrel off.
I think we need to put it to the test.
I think 5 squirrels takes.
We'll find
you
a
down.
controlled environment
Yeah.
that you can just unleash.
So I raised a squirrel from
Oh.
a baby,
I'm so sorry.
and I didn't name it, but I had killed its mom, and then it was a baby in the nest in Alabama.
Yeah.
And so I felt bad, so I emptied my 12 gauge into the nest because I didn't want the baby to suffer, and then it was still screaming. So it survived after that, so I had to save it. So we
Wait,
caught
so
him.
you just missed? How,
and I-
how bad are you?
Oh,
at
yeah,
hitting
I was.
things?
I blew. First of all, I blew the nest out of the tree. But so I raised it. It was
He
my
misses
pet,
a baby
but it,
squirrel from
it
point
did,
blank range.
It did bite me.
man. But you raised it. And
But I did raise it. It would climb on my shoulder and run around.
How
and
bad was the bite?
It wasn't bad.
Oh, okay, so you're basing all of that off of one little baby squirrel
An
bite.
infant squirrel.
An infant
Yeah,
squirrel.
and then I have cracked
Dude, I'm telling you,
the
one.
skull of a huge sewer rat before.
Oh.
And that's so I don't think I think you're overestimating the skeletal structure of a rodent.
A squirrel would smoke.
Would rats be a different story, or it'd be the same?
Well, I mean, they're similar. This is a sewer rat is much bigger than a squirrel.
Is it
And all
really?
I did was tap it with a beer, like a Texas tea bottle or like an Arizona iced tea bottle on like bink, and it blew its like that. It
It was
cracked its
alive.
skull.
It was like wait. Was
Yeah,
it
it crawled
dead?
right up to us. I was in my hometown.
Clone smacked it on the head and died.
Yeah, I don't know if people know this back where I was from, but I don't know when this was. Shoot, it had to be like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. But it came, we were sitting out there and they had a problem with sewer rats in my hometown in Ohio. And first it was raccoons and then cats and then sewer rats came in. And it was just cruising down and they're all hunched up like you'd expect. Huge. It's probably 30 pounds.
What?
A rat. They're huge.
I'm like 45 pounds.
I'm just
so
telling you.
something's not.
And he,
of unusual
their
size?
heads
think
real
they
low to the ground, and he started coming right up to us, and I had an empty bottle, and I just went bink, and it
I don't
split its
believe-
skull, and it spun.
Man.
And now here's the proof: is they found it, and then it was a prank. They were hanging in everybody's locker for our homecoming carnival. They're putting it in vehicles and stuff like that. The big dead rat.
The big dead rat.
But
No
yeah,
way.
that was
I
a
just think you're
capybara.
overestimating a squirrel.
I don't know,
Skeletal
man. I think a
structure,
few
brother.
at you, they're just gonna rip you apart.
Have you seen those thermal videos of guys shooting rats?
Yeah, it's
They're
great.
so satisfying. I'll sit there and watch it
I
all
know.
day.
Plinking.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
So how did you end up getting on the show alone? Was
So, I applied like I said, for season 7, it's just an email. So I just sent an email with my, that's all they ask for is they have got a little Facebook post or whatever, and they say, send it to this casting. And they have a bunch of producers that are casting director girls.
What did this email say?
And it's just like, this is who I am. This is what my current station in life, where I'm at. I just bought some land and was homesteading in East Jordan up here.
So you sent them this email and you said, hey, this is who I am.
Yep.
This is my interest.
This is what my background is and my training is. And then I got a call. I got a response immediately with a call this number. And then I talked to one of their producers, their casting producers, and they said that they're pretty much full on Alone, but they'd like me to be considered for this other show, Alone the Beast. And I said, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm game. Like, if you want to send me on a paid vacation somewhere in Canada, then I'll do it. Right?
I'm retired, man.
Okay. So I had some responsibilities. Still had all 5 kids at the house and trying to build a homestead. We're still living in a tiny house. We lived in that truck for 2.5 years. I'm not these go-to guys that are primitive. Like, I wasn't raised with a dad, so I wasn't brought into the woods to go hunt and camp and all that stuff. So all my training in any wisdom that I have in any kind of survival mode is just military training and thinking outside the box.
And you said you were in the military?
Yeah, 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you for your service.
I did 12 in the Navy and 12 in the Army.
Oh, wow.
Roughly.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So when did you get into the Army? When did you leave?
I joined the Navy and when I was 7. I was a senior. I was a young senior, so I turned 18 after high school. So in July after high school. So I graduated in June. Was in boot camp 2 days later in the Navy at 17, and then I did 12 years. And then 2003, I got out right before the Iraq push, and switched over to the Army to go fly helicopters. So,
what was your experience like in the military? Was there?
I flew a scout reconnaissance helicopter. So I had a 50 cal. Most of the time, I ran with a 50 cal machine gun mounted on the left side and rockets on the right side. So Iraq, by the time we went in Iraq, it was 08 for Iraq, so you're 5 years into that war, and it's not weapons free anymore, and like it was fun, like Cowboys and Indians back at the beginning of it, which means weapons free stuff where you let everybody know to stay out of this area,
right?
Bad guys, and then if you're found there, I'm sorry, So we were starting to get different kind of ROEs then, so normal stuff, but it's kind of like a street fight, like after high school kind of fight. And then Afghanistan was kind of like a knife fight. It's kind of more of a brawl.
Have you ever gotten injured?
Nope. Just been shot at, but like that's normal. Like everybody gets, they crack and fire. So,
right.
But that's it.
You're still around.
But I've been shot at by a neighbor before when I was in the Army. So when they said, hey, it's a primitive, do you have any experience with primitive? What do you think I said? Absolutely.
Absolutely,
right,
I do. Yeah, of course I do.
And I said, what do you need me to, prove it? And they're like, yeah, well, we're going to have you make some videos. So she hung up. I got on YouTube how to start a fire from wood. I started to build an oven, and I learned it. And in an hour, I was starting fires from friction fires.
So before you went on Alone, you didn't know all this stuff. You didn't know how to survive out in the wilderness. You weren't like a outdoors guy.
I didn't have the experience of, and I don't know how much. I'm not going to dog any hunters in Michigan, but
you can dog them.
We'll
cut that part out.
You buy the camo, you walk to a deer stand, and you climb a tree and you sit. There's not a lot of survival. You got your licky chewies all the time, and you're comfortable, and hand warmers. So
basically,
little body heater.
Even if I was a hunter, a Michigan hunter, and deer hunter every year, am I really getting a lot of survival experience?
Right. Nate, I think I get what you're saying. Basically, if I'm translating correctly, you're saying hunters are just a bunch of wimps.
No, I'm not saying that.
I read you. His words, not mine, guys.
No, I'm not saying that. But it is they like that on paper. Hollywood, the producers, the TV production companies, they think that there's just these people like these, the redneck types or the country boys that just hunt deer, and then they have these survival skills, and then there's actual
somehow it translates.
Yeah, it's just something translate because your dad took you hunting and fishing.
Right.
Well, I've gone fishing and I've gone hunting, but it was never anything I learned from doing that.
Well, I imagine the mental fortitude is probably more than anything, considering your military experience. I wonder if that translates.
Yeah, I think all life experience for me kind of set me up for that. So, growing up with a struggle through childhood, and I was a wrestler, so I was normally.
So you weren't
fasting.
afraid of bears or
No.
mountain lions?
No,
or
I wasn't afraid. I didn't have fear on that. More of an excitement, more.
So you knew you could full Nelson
Pin a bear.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you got to keep your energy low when you're around other apex predators. You don't want to challenge their energy,
Right.
so you don't want to be prey, but you still have to exude your confidence.
Right.
But yeah, wrestling and then the military. I went through some SEER training and survival and stuff training in the military, and then I was trained in survival for aviation survival, stuff like that. So I knew the gear, I knew all that stuff. So that was never an issue. So it was the outside of the box thinking and problem solving that set me up for success. But
So I'm curious. So if not innately outdoorsy, you didn't have your dad that took you hunting, fishing, all those sort of things. So where did the idea of I should apply to be on alone come from?
because it's a personal challenge, and you'll never do that to yourself,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
and just to try it, like, hey, it'd be cool to get on. I don't care for any of the cameras and stuff like that, but if somebody's going to let me and put me into a struggle, I enjoyed it. Like, I really enjoyed, probably too much, I enjoyed my combat deployments. Like, I don't have any stress about it. I don't suffer from any concerns about anything I did over there or saw anything over there. Because I prioritized it as this is an opportunity to do my job, and I really liked doing my job, which is essentially protecting the guys on the ground, finding bad guys and keeping routes clear, and anybody gets in trouble on the ground, then I get to show up. And it was like replacing my family, because at home I'm the protector and provider for my family. So when I deploy, I can compartmentalize that, knowing that my wife has the homestead set. She's going to take care of the family. Complete confidence there. I can switch off my concerns about my family and focus on the ground guys or my new kids.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was it. So I had no issues doing anything.
When I'm watching this show, it seems like 9 out of 10 of the contestants tap because they're like, oh, I just miss my family.
Sure.
I can't get it out of my head.
Sure.
And they go in so confident, like that's not going to be a problem. And then, a few weeks in and they're just like, man, this is tough. And so with your ability to compartmentalize that, how did that affect you?
Well, and I knew that the name of the show wasn't going to be the reason I was going to leave.
Yeah.
I knew that the challenge of that, I knew it was just going to be food. And and that was the only issue. And we knew going into this season when we were in our orientation that food was going to be short because we had a lot of restrictions. So
couldn't shoot the squirrels.
no, I couldn't. Yeah, I would have loved to kill that squirrel, or at least a few of them. And that's another story.
That's the one that took you out.
That wasn't. That's the one they edited. That's not what took me out, but it has to be edited. So, and they ask you that up front. Like, you see a doc and he talks about ego and how if they portray you to be bad on this, if they show you in a bad light, is it going to bother you?
Right.
And I said, I don't care. I don't care about what
Go
people
crazy.
think of me. It doesn't bother me. So,
Right.
so they did a couple, things in the editing that I didn't say or that weren't true about. They just, because they have to make it viewer friendly.
Yeah, right.
100%. So it didn't bother me at all that they said, because that's my biggest question. Really, that poor squirrel knocked? And I was like, no.
So tell me more about day one. What's the first thing you did after you just whiffed a couple of arrows?
Well, yeah. I mean, after that, you got to pull your, bootstraps up.
Yeah.
Realize that you're not very good at shooting ptarmigan or anyway. So you want to scout your area out, right? So I do an initial assessment. And you kind of just want to assess, what are my benefits of this location? This is where they drop me off. Do I have to stay here? Before I start unpacking anything, do I want to go for a hike and see my areas?
Right.
So I check my shoreline and my beach line. I found the creek. I found a set of some berries. Berries are always dangerous because if I can find berries, so can bears.
Sure.
So I've got to know the location of the food source, because bears will eat those up before with the fish. So, and then how far back away from the shoreline do I want to go? There was a minimum requirement because of the bears. They don't want you near the shoreline for some. But the first night I camped like 20 feet from the shoreline. So I found a tree and I was like, I'm just going to do a shelter here for this location after my scout. Then I picked the front tree, but the wind was too bad. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to stay here. So then I pushed deeper in the next day and started building shelter. You want shelter as your primary source.
I mean, I always think, that would be, I imagine that would be like my number one priority is I don't want to be sleeping out in the open
Right.
night one.
100%.
Get the tarp up,
100%.
get shelter.
And that it does give you that little sense of security too. But and on the Beast, I slept outside most of the time under the stars next to the fire. It was tough. Food was scarce.
I'll bet.
And we were limited on what we could and couldn't kill. And even shooting a deer, it had to be a 4-point, which you think would be a 4-point down in Michigan is just 2 on each side, right?
Yeah, right.
And that's the blacktail in Canada. It's at least 4 on one side.
Oh gosh.
So now you're looking for an 8-pointer, or you can get a 7.
You can
if
get a
it's got
6 or 7 if it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's off.
Well, that
Did
one
you do that?
dude-
Did you just do that?
Hey, listen.
Are you a Gen Z?
There's some Gen Zs out there. We gotta a 6 or a 7 point.
You
Listen,
just pissed him off so bad.
I have 4 sons that are younger
hey,
than you,
probably.
And they probably don't
and
do it.
and it's all day. Bro.
listen.
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna throw this on the table.
Yeah.
Do you want to stick around any longer?
No, I got at least 6 or 7 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, all right, 6 or 7 minutes. Let's make the most of
No,
this.
you run it.
Here's the real question, and this is a real test to your, I don't know if I should say expertise or just street
Sure.
smarts. What would you fight? I got to make sure I ask this question right because this is important to me. Would you?
Would I rather? It's like one. Would you rather questions?
It is one of those would you rathers. Would you rather go head to head with a bear or a chimpanzee? The hypothetical is they're both trying to kill you.
It's a fight to the death.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like,
but if you
dead no
had to
matter
choose
what.
one,
probably, then I'd probably choose the chimpanzee
why? Hold up.
Yes.
because it's more in my weight class.
That's exactly my
Okay.
argument.
Do you know why I choose the other way around? This is why.
Because you want a quick death.
Exactly. Here's the thing.
I don't. I want a fighting chance, and I'm pretty
what?
sure a
You
chimpanzee can't take a right
You
hook.
don't have a fighting
very
chance.
well.
You don't have a fighting chance. That thing's gonna come at you, and it's just gonna go
Yeah.
and rip you.
What you're saying? The
up.
chimpanzee?
A chimp.
Yeah. Just because that one lady got her face ripped off.
The one lady. Here's the
men
thing.
would?
Here's what we know about chimps.
You know that grown men have killed.
Oh my
silverback
gosh!
gorillas, right?
I said you're on thin ice. You are falling
I'm
through.
done.
No, he's 100%. He's 100%
No.
correct. He's
mean-
100%. You take on the chimpanzee every single time.
100%.
you don't, because
and
listen.
I'm a wrestler, so
What are you gonna
I'm
do
a
to a
body
chimp?
position guy.
Dude, he can.
That thing is-
I can't manhandle a
This is-
grizzly bear.
He could pretzel up a chimpanzee.
I just don't think you're. I
Pretzel
don't think you're.
Got him all twisted.
I don't know.
up.
This guy.
Calm down. Calm down.
You're showing your. Never mind.
my Gen Z.
No,
Here's
yeah,
the thing.
You're Gen.
Can
I'll
I
say
at
that
least-
nicely. You're Gen.
Can I at least make my case?
Sure.
Here's the thing.
It's a stupid
It
case.
is a
A chimpanzee is going to kill you.
no.
No, listen.
There's no guarantees. A grizzly bear is going to kill
Yes, they
you.
both.
A chimpanzee is not going.
Listen,
There's no guarantees.
You're the one who said you're the one who was taken out by a squirrel.
I know.
So
I know. You got to throw that in there. Not attacked by him though.
You
Right?
could, so here's the thing. I am under the idea that the chimpanzee will kill me, and it will be way more painful. So a chimpanzee, it's going to knock me down, and it's going to go, and it's going to bash me until I'm almost dead.
You're right.
It's going to bite my penis off. It's
you're
going to
right.
bite my fingers off. It's going to bite my
Probably.
toes off.
Just
it's going to bite my nose
because-
off, and I'm going to bleed out, and it's gone.
But I
Those
think
things
your
screw you
main
up.
mistake that you're making
They rip your face off.
is that you and I are not the same.
That's the thing. Just because he's less of a man
You're
doesn't mean
you're making the assumptions that we're the same, and that just
wait,
because
wait,
you
wait.
would,
What are
I
you-
would.
What are you saying?
I'm just.
you're saying that you would just roll over and take it from
Yeah,
the chimp.
you're just saying yes. That's what I'm saying. Why is he near your penis? I don't know what's going on there.
He got fresh with the
Yeah.
chimp.
So I mean, that's okay. You made an assumption. It's not all right. But
No. Okay, here's the thing. If I'm a potato, would I rather be thrown in the boiling water or peeled first? I just want to be thrown right in.
yeah.
I don't want to
So
be,
what do you think?
if
What do you
I'm
think the
food-
death by grizzly looks like?
What does that mean? Oh,
seen The Revenant?
one right hook. Ah, pff.
You think one right hook?
No, I don't actually think that, but I think
You think
that'll
that's instantaneous?
Well, I think
you
it
think you're
could
not
be.
going to get your guts eviscerated?
Will I
You're not going to get you're not going to get your skull crushed and you're still conscious? You're not? He's going to be in his mouth? Like you're not like that's fun?
Yeah, you're going to be in his mouth, but the thing is would I rather be like my face
I
in his
don't
mouth
have
and toes?
a fighting chance with a grizzly.
But the thing is like
Without a weapon, I have no
Either way,
fighting
you're going to
chance.
be in excruciating pain. One way, you may survive.
100%.
if you had to
I may be
let...
victorious and survive.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but
Yeah.
but your penis is gone.
No, your penis is gone.
For the I want to have this on the record.
You edit that out.
Yeah, I mean,
It's alive and ladies, it's alive and well.
You
okay.
need this, yeah, I don't know.
Guys, I have a terrible experience with a squirrel. I have to confess. So, okay.
Squirrels' mouths are
So
almost
no.
this big.
All right.
Sorry,
so
we're not
if
gonna
you
agree.
were to be eaten alive, if you had to be eaten alive by an animal, what animal would you choose?
Whale.
Eaten alive?
Can't be a
Yeah.
whale.
Oh, can't be a whale?
Land animal.
Eaten alive.
Like, why am I, like, did I put up a good fight? Like,
All right.
is it-
Here's a sitch. You are hands tied behind your back,
Oh.
and it's coming at you. You know you're gonna get eaten. It's a for sure thing. What animal?
Probably
are
like
you
a
choosing?
Bengal tiger.
Tiger.
Quick kill.
This is what I'm saying.
in the neck.
L
Yeah.
take after
Lion.
L take.
Lion. I'm
it
sorry,
gets- it
it's
gets you
not
right in the
your
jugular.
choice, but I'm sure you have a better one. Like,
Yeah.
oh, your
You're like,
biggest. I know your biggest fear, the largest rodent. A capybara
squirrel.
or a neutrino? Is that what it is? The neutrinos
You
are
a
the
rat.
largest.
No, here's
What
what you
is
choose.
yours?
You choose a hippo. Those things. Have you seen a hippo?
That's actually a pretty
eat
good
a.
choice.
Well, they kill more people in Africa. They're the highest kill rate. Hippos are.
I've heard that they're
But that's
pretty
not
aggressive.
satisfying. They're not going to eat you.
Well, you've
They're just
seen
gonna
those.
kill
No,
you.
but
You've
the
seen
thing-
those videos though, where they put the watermelon in their mouth and they
Yeah,
crush it.
crush.
Just hopefully that's your head.
Yeah.
and you're just
Exactly.
done.
What you do is you say, "Here you go," and they go, pop, and it's just over.
Yeah, but
Nah.
you chose.
They're gonna
You
trick
I
chose.
chose a tiger because that's a.
You wanna get
I
mauled?
like that.
If I'm food, I don't want to be played with
I want to
first.
get eaten by a fat, out of shape thing. I want to get eaten by the king of the jungle.
Hang on, you might have just
Yeah, you
changed
see
my
those
mind.
The
videos of the
king
hippos
of the
like
jungle.
Like you want that to be the thing that kills them.
Yeah.
That's so
The
embarrassing.
hippo. All right.
That is embarrassing.
Guys, listen, it's tough being right so much, but it's honestly it's my cross to bear. It was
is.
just
There it is.
Won the bear argument that well.
He's been listening to the bear argument.
we've been arguing about this bear thing for years.
Really?
Oh yeah, the bear versus chimp, and I've been right for years.
Of course you have.
Oh, you've
course you
always been wrong. You've always been on the wrong side of history of the bear versus chimp argument.
All right, we've exhausted the animal stuff. We're moving back on. So the show alone, you used the word orientation. What was that like?
So for us, for Alone, we kind of got lucky on it. I say lucky, but except for the COVID testing, but we were right at the cusp.
Wait, what year was this?
21, I think, was right at the
Okay.
cusp. Or 20,
Yeah.
I think it's right at the cusp.
Yeah.
That fall where we were still okay. We had to get special permission to go into Canada. They were about to shut the border down, all that stuff. So we had to go for a 2-week quarantine in a resort, lakeside resort.
You're like, listen.
in the area, paid.
Imagine
By the
having
way.
to go on a 2-week quarantine to go be a.
Yeah.
Imagine having to do a quarantine to go be alone for a few
I
months.
know. So
Like, what are we worried about? Getting beer
hey,
sick?
brother, I agree. I got a COVID test the day I was sent out there. Like,
That's crazy.
why? I'm gonna be alone, bro.
You don't want to infect the bear.
I don't want to
population.
get Yeah. So I mean, I'm not getting into the politics of it. That's fine.
You're gonna see bear out there with masks
I
on.
know. I know.
That'll keep them off you.
So we had 2 weeks of this quarantine, which is great, and then we got to see and be up in British Columbia, which was nice, and then we got 2 weeks of orientation where you actually go close to site, and then we go through camps and trapping classes and local vegetation, and then you get a kind of a feel, and you get the rules, what kind of trees and can you cut down, and how many can you cut down, and you get all the rules, animals you can kill, and they were negotiating animals all the way up to the day we went in.
No, really.
They were trying to finalize what animals we could and couldn't kill. So
Is it because regulations change or what?
because of those tribes, because they were still negotiating, and one would say, yeah, you can kill this, and one would be like, no.
Oh,
Man.
Yes, no. So they all had to agree on a list, and it was ended up being a short list.
whoa.
No mice, no squirrels, no, like we got restricted.
No, really? No,
The
no
most
mice?
restricted. Yeah.
Well, that one dude, what was his name? The one guy who had the little bone nose ring thing. Biko, that was his name. He was the last episode I was watching. I haven't finished the season yet, but he's going to war with that one mouse.
yeah.
Looks like he abandoned abandoned the rules.
Yeah.
But like, you got a mouse in there eating your clothes,
I know.
tearing up your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? You're just gonna
Exactly.
nah, have at it.
So that's what, and then they kind of changed some of the things. There's some, things they build into the program that's kind of their top secret stuff that they don't want people to know about, just to make the show more productive.
Sure.
Things like that. So they, helped us out in certain areas when it comes to that stuff. But if you chose it, like, the 10 items, you can bring food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
For one of your 10 items, you can choose to bring
Can you
food.
just bring like a deer?
Yeah, they have this list. It's like, trail mix and chocolate. And
But like, is there a? I mean, of course there is, but what's the size limit? So let's
so
say
that was what they changed because they knew food was scarce. They doubled the food pounds.
Oh,
So what did you bring for food?
I didn't bring any food.
What were your 10 items?
I had my multi-tool, which is funny in the editing because I forgot when they said, "What are your 10 items?" I didn't say it. And so they called me later after the show was over and said, "Dude, we totally forgot your multi-tool, so I need you to record and my multi-tool." So if you watch the little video clip, it's all my 10 items and my multi-tool. Audio's completely wrong. It's all
hilarious.
It's
Some kids
great.
screaming in the background.
It is, yeah. So I if I can remember correctly, I had snare wire, 550 cord, my saw, which I ground the back and sharpened into a machete. So it was a folding katana type. Your pot, sleeping bag, my fishing kit, bow and arrow, and my multi-tool, because you could take a hunting knife. And then I had 2 other, I don't know what they are. I can't remember.
So let's say we're talking to someone who's going to go do this challenge, who's going to go do a survival challenge. Just for fun, what would you say would be, from your experience, the, let's say, top 3 most important items to bring out there?
Well, you definitely want your sleeping bag. It's like I don't know why that's an option.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
why it even takes up one of
It's
your 10 items?
it's an early winter project. On the day on day 24, it was snowing the day I left. So you're 3.5 weeks in, and you're in the thick now.
Yeah.
The weather's changing. So I think sleeping bag, and then to me the pot is a big one, because you have no way to heat any water unless you scavenge and you find something you can use, bottle or whatever you can find. So I think the pot, the sleeping bag, and then I think the multi-tool's a better choice than a knife, straight blade, just because the options for it.
So the multi-tool, what's in this? Is there a saw? There's a
saw, there's scissors, there's a knife, there's pliers. So I mean, I was with
cork opener.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Out there.
Some of them have an awl.
Champagne was your 4th item.
Yep. If you look at the 10 item options, like soap and a towel is on there.
Okay, so you can't just.
Who's wasting it on soap?
Yeah, some people.
I don't even buy soap at home.
What a
Good to know.
waste.
I'm glad you're over there.
Yeah. So
6-7 feet.
6-7 feet apart. Yeah, exactly. So you're on the show. You get through orientation, and I want to know a little bit more about these rules. So they give you rules for, what do we say, for like animals that you can trap.
Yep. So you're gonna get your animal list.
Yep.
And then what you can and can't kill, what you can and can't keep, fish wise, size of the fish, limit for your fish.
Man, that's such a pain.
So it's typical to say all these things. It's not I'm not letting the cat out of the bag on anything. It's just that those are the unfortunate sides of dealing in another country to go against their game rules and responsibilities. So,
but I'm sure they also gave you rules like how far can you explore? Did they give you like a zone?
You get a geofence,
which is
it's like you get this pager that's this GPS pager, and you can text, satellite text and stuff, and that's how they communicate with you. You'll get text messages and check-ins. You got to check in, and then you have a sat phone if you need it.
How often do they do the like medical check-ins?
The med checks are done. I never had one.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
They were doing them that right around the time I left. So
okay. So they
3 weweeks in, they'll go for their.
so like every 2 days, every 3 days.
3 weeks.
I lasted longer than 3 days.
3 weeks they did. My show, it was 3 weeks and they started them.
Okay.
So day 21, I think they started doing med checks.
Gotcha.
But your check-ins are all through the pager, all through the text. So you'll morning check-in report.
Make sure you're alive. Basically.
Alive. Yeah, you get mauled last night by a bear.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, you do another post check-in.
Unless I'm missing something, these contestants, such as yourself, could die.
Sure. I mean, you sign that.
Right. So you say, I understand I could die.
Yeah,
I understand I could lose a limb.
Hold harmless. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like we're just plucking random contestants out of a lottery that shouldn't go out there. Some people in the past shouldn't.
Right.
Like day one.
And
I didn't know there was going to actually bears. I'm gone.
I'll tell you,
not even one night.
There was some dude on one of those seasons. It was one of the earlier seasons that I watched. Yeah. Day one, he like came across some like bear tracks and he's like, I'm out. And of course, me from the comfort of my couch, it's really easy to be like,
What a whim. Honey, can you give me some ice cream?
exactly.
Yeah, the bears were
The cookie's done.
the interesting side about this location was it is the highest population of bears in North America.
Man,
Is just that lake, density wise.
did you end up seeing a bear?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. I did it on the beast too. We had a black bear that wanted our muskox, so we had to run him off a lot.
Crazy.
So, but I had scat, signs of bear, prints on the shoreline, wolf prints on rogue wolf prints, just one on the shoreline. But it wasn't a big. It wasn't. He never was an issue because you move through each other's environment. I'm there temporarily.
Yeah.
I'm not competing.
Right.
So that wasn't an issue. But yeah, they had the Fraser River had a landslide the year before or 2 years before, and it completely cut off the salmon run.
So the bears are
So
hungry.
bears are hungry. They've been
Yeah.
going there for years. They were doing all kinds of piping and lifting with helicopters and trying to move the salmon. So that's why the salmon rule was such a big deal.
Wow.
Was because the bears were going to be hungry.
That's crazy.
And my location was way south. It's a 36, 37 mile long lake.
Right.
And I was near the end, the south side. So the mouth of the Fraser was way up north. And so that's where the main population would have been.
There was one season where some chick had her gill net across a river.
Oh, yeah.
just
That bear.
catching
Yeah.
salmon
I know.
after salmon
all day.
after salmon.
All day.
Different
And the guy
story.
had like 60 salmon smoked.
Yeah.
And he went out he was too skinny.
Is that what happened?
He didn't eat it. He was hooking up for winter and not eating it. So he lost too much weight and they meted him out. But he had like,
He's like,
60
"Wait."
fillets smoked, ready to go for winter.
That sucks.
So we could and our limit was 2 rainbows a day. And the limit to keep was double that. So I could only stockpile 4 rainbows.
Man,
And that's
tough.
I couldn't keep continuing to catch and eat.
To keep not just per day, but to keep in
Yeah,
general.
that's it. I could only have 4 in storage
Man.
and 2 lakes.
What were the camera rules? So what did they send you out with? So there was your 10 items
Yep.
and what else?
So they gave you a camera case that had like a charging station, it's like a Kodiak or something like that. It's a really cool remote, and that runs for days. And then they'll leave a bag on the shore. You won't even know it. And then they'll let you know, hey, go get your gifts. It's batteries. And then we had trail cams and GoPros. So we would set up our own setup for cameras when we're moving, and then they would go up and set up game cameras that you wouldn't even know about. So
okay.
they set them up so they can catch you more candid. And then you had more of a handy cam type
Gotcha.
Sony or something that you could record active on with your GoPros.
And batteries?
And then batteries I had a charging station with that battery bank, that Kodiak thing. Then that kind of charged all my batteries. And then any batteries or lithiums that you needed for the GoPros or stuff like that, if something went bad, then you just made a text and said, I need more batteries. And
What was the most challenging part about the entire thing for you? Was it a mental game or?
No, the alone to me, like I said before, is not a challenge. Like I could rock it out. If it was the mission, I could stay out there and live.
I don't think
It was the food.
I don't think that I would have much of a problem with being alone either, but it's not just being alone. If you throw me in my house alone for 2 months, I got my TV, I got my
disconnect.
phone. It's the
Disconnect.
disconnecting.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's no entertainment.
Alone with your own thoughts.
Yeah, and that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Is are you comfortable? They say that's the mirror you. That's what happens when you force yourself into isolation. If you're stuck in some situation where you don't have that ability,
Right.
because your ego is really, are you your image that you portray to people, or are you a different person? I call it mirror me. I talk to people or give kids advice or whatever. I'm just like, listen, I'm a truth person. So the person you meet with me is, I don't pretend to be anybody. So I don't have any scruples when I'm alone and the
Right.
real me. I'm struggling. I'm not trying to be
It's not
anybody.
performative.
No,
It's
I'm not
not-
performative.
yeah.
So a lot of times in our lives, we perform for people around us for a certain status. They got to
Right.
act a certain way for these people or that people. And that tends to be one of the big outliers, reasons why people have trouble in isolation, is that you start to break down. You don't have all those supporting compliments. You don't have social media to remind you that you're
Yeah.
pretty or you're
You become who you are at your core.
You are.
And if
Your
it's not
mirror
built up,
down.
Your mirror me. Your reflection is.
I would be screwed. I would be 24 hours. I would be out.
So, and that's the big one. That's what people struggle with.
Yeah.
You definitely seem like the exception for that, because most people start to kind of go nuts by the end, I feel like.
They start to, there are limits. We had guys on that, my season, that had been married for 14, 16 years and never spent a day away from their wife.
But being alone,
that's crazy.
So,
being alone out in the wilderness, and as we said, it's just you and your thoughts and the challenge of it. You're cold, you're hungry. What's the spiritual element of that like? Because, I mean, we talked a little bit beforehand, and I think you said God is.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I mean, for me, like, you're in your element. Like, that's you're closer to God when you're fasting and when you're in a struggle that's you need that support.
Mm-hmm.
So there's confidence to be had. I like to live in the light of Christ. I feel like I'm always under the spotlight.
Yeah.
I feel warm in there. I know that I'm doing right by that. So if I can bring somebody into that, that's great. But for me, that's how I envision it. I just feel like I'm walking sometimes through a dark room and in spotlight, and that's my light. So there's support there for me. So spiritually, if I want to be closer to that, then you create struggle for yourself anyways in the form of fasting. I think it's Matthew 20:21 if you want to,
And so 22 days out in the wilderness.
24.
22 days plus 2 more.
Just keep making it less and less impressive.
So 5 days in.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? I mean, just in the silence, do you feel like during that time you went in being, a Christ follower, like you said, a Christian and a believer? After those 24 days, does that strengthen us all? What is that like out there?
I mean, it's just to know, well, you're building your own. Anytime like I said, the reason why this is so appealing to me was you're never going to do this to yourself.
Right.
You can't really set this up.
No.
And be like, okay, the team that you would require to do this for you, you got to get people that.
And you need some crazy incentive, right?
And you would need some incentive.
And
right?
for you,
me, the money wasn't the incentive. The challenge was the incentive.
What was the financial incentive?
Or you mean the award?
Was it $500,000?
I think it was $500,000. Yeah.
I'm not sure how that doesn't wake you up, but that'll get me through
You think about it, but in the end, you still have to have, like, I could offer you $500,000 to do something you've never done before, and you're going to have confidence that you think you can, and you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You can't have the money there. You're going to put yourself out on a limb, and you're going to end up getting hurt, or
there
your
has
ego's
to
going to get
be
destroyed.
an intrinsic
There has to be a
reward
desire.
for you.
Yeah. And for me, it was the challenge of the mission. It was like, can I do this? Can I know that I know my personality, and if I'm given an opportunity, then, and I knew it. The only thing that was going to stop me from winning it was food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have enough body fat. I'm not Biko. I didn't show up with 100 pounds of fat above my walking around weight.
Right.
That'd have been awesome.
Is that, you said, you like a challenge, obviously. Is that just like a core part of who you are?
Yeah. I think that it should be a core part of everybody. I think for you, my recommendation would be to take 3 days and go be alone.
Yeah.
And take 10 items and not your phone, and take cameras that, not your phone, but take cameras that can record, and go do a true 3-day survival. I think every person, I think every person, young man, anybody should go state land, hike in, tell a friend, give your coordinates and say, hey, I'm going out for 3 days.
Bring a flare gun.
And go out there and take your 10 items and go survive.
Well, it's cool.
TV, cell phone,
and I think
Starlink.
But that's it. Is that challenge? That is to induce struggle. We don't do enough voluntary struggles.
It's
in
true.
life. We try to be comfortable.
Well, we are in a very distracted world.
We are.
Our phones, our TVs, we are constantly plugged in. I mean, I find when I'm working, even I'm sitting there, I actually work from home. So I'm sitting there working, and I just got my phone running YouTube, running podcasts. And it's like a constant feed of information.
Yep.
And so when you're talking about like the spiritual element of it, I think it's really easy for us to blot out God's voice when we have all these other noises coming at us all the time.
Very interesting.
I did a challenge similar to probably maybe on par to the challenge you went through as far as difficulty. On Monday, I tried to eat my lunch without watching YouTube.
Are you a Gen Z?
Oh yeah. And let me tell you, I came out on the other side a different man. I only got 5 minutes
You
in.
succeeded or not?
No. But
So how'd you change?
Almost.
well, the thing is when I say I changed, I mean I realized just how much I love eating lunch and watching YouTube.
Sure.
I found something out about myself, you know?
Yeah.
Self-discovery.
It's good to know that you like comfort.
He eats lunch fast too. It wasn't like a half-hour lunch.
No, it was, just get through 5 minutes of this.
Yes.
So I scrolled on TikTok instead.
Now that's a real thing though. I mean, like, talking about feeling close to God, you used fasting as an example. Like,
Yeah.
When I'm an outdoorsman, I love hunting, fishing, and whenever I'm out in nature, get up 6:30 in the morning, you're out in the lake kind of kayak fishing, and it's just water's like glass, and that it's those kind of moments where I'm like, you feel connected to your creator.
That's it.
And I can imagine when you're alone 3 weeks with none of those other distractions that things probably get clear.
I mean, you do. You start to appreciate, like, you can't imagine the views. I mean, you're surrounded by this lake and glaciers, and it's gorgeous. And you have that moment of where you're up and you're awake, and you're subject to it.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing to be there and see that. So for me, I like the disconnection. I prefer it.
That's cool.
Because once you're there, it opens your mind up. I mean, I have a weird tick where I speak in a horrible Scottish accent when I'm alone, and I openly talk out loud, and I speak. It's the weirdest thing, but I mean, I'm having conversations with myself, but it only comes out when I'm isolated.
That's so funny.
I think
this come
in the
out in the
accent,
episode?
I just
Yeah,
I think it did. I think it did. I mean, I tried. I don't know if I think I did. And it's a terrible one. Like, it's not even a good one. It's not even.
Well, I feel like, I mean, this is maybe a lame example, but like when I'm driving in a car by myself, not listening to a podcast or anything, all of a sudden I start having thoughts and ideas and running scenarios through my brain and having fake conversations with myself, and it's like, wow, as soon as I blot out or just get rid of any noise or distraction, all of a sudden my mind starts working and running.
That's what happens.
Yeah, it's so.
We start praying, right? And we guess we didn't say this. We're both Christians too. We were growing up in a Christian house and go to church, and that was our upbringing, both of ours, of course. But so we relate on that aspect.
Right.
So a lot of respect for that. But for me, like I am not a huge Wyatt's a big fisherman and hunter. I've done all of that, but I just haven't really gotten into it like Wyatt has. But when I think about, like, even just going outside at night, I mean, even if it's for 5 minutes, like, I look up at the stars in the summer night and it's like, it's such a connecting feeling to what Wyatt said, your creator, right? It's like, whoa. And it's just it's just prayer, right? It's just talking to God. Right. And I feel like if I'm out on the show alone for 24 days, I just feel like, I mean, is 90% of that time just...
It absolutely is. But I'm not... The way I view my relationship with Christ is I don't ask him for anything because I'm appreciative of everything he's given me. Mm-hmm. So I'm not the type of guy that prays for things. I'm in the glory of him, and I'm just like, okay, I appreciate the opportunity.
That's cool.
It's been on me. I have the onus to survive this. I've got to make those decisions. And I'm in it with that presence, is that he's given me everything I can, my mind and my ability to think through problems. And so I can't rely on, there's nothing for me to do there except, I learned that in wrestling. I used to have a prayer. My senior year is when I found Christ in wrestling. I was a state contender in my junior year in high school, and then I came back my senior year, and I was it took harder to get in match shape. I wasn't getting any matches because nobody wanted to wrestle returning. I got fourth the year before, so I was always being ducked by kids, and so I started feeling I was wrestling this kid twice, and I beat him in I beat him, and then I beat him in overtime, and he was like gaining on me. So I was having this real mental crisis about my life. And I was 17. And so I was like, I gotta give it up. And I wasn't raised in the church. My grandmother was the anchor, and the only thing I knew about God was through my grandmother, which she would pray when we go visit her, but that's not every day. My mom, like I said before, she was, my mom, and it wasn't a big deal to push religion. And so I just had a friend of mine, a girl, and her dad was a pastor at a local church, and I spent all night praying and talking to God, and I felt good about it the next day, and I knew everything was clear. Like I felt like I had met that he was always there, and I was like, that's the dad I've been looking for, kind of thing. And so I asked him to if he would baptize me, because I wanted to go through with that. And so I got baptized, testified at church, and like 6 other people got baptized in their street clothes. It was a good testimony.
How old were you?
17.
17. So this was right before you went to the military?
Yep, right before.
Wow, same year?
Yep.
Wow, how cool.
How do you feel like that helped you mentally when you're in the military?
Yeah, I mean, I think that grounded me into, my biggest struggle was it ego? Was it pride? Was I trying to live up to that? We were talking about that reflection, that mirror me. People saw me a certain way, and was I trying to act out be a certain way? And I didn't like who I was. I didn't like that I was acting out. I didn't like that image of that guy. So I kind of had to humble myself, and that's why I got baptized. But my prayer was simple. It was just let me, allow me every match before I go on a match was I did all the work. Like, just let me flow like water out there. Like, I've worked so hard for this, and I've learned it, and you've given me this gift, and I know that I'm violent natured and by my childhood, and I get that, but I've learned to control it. Let me just demonstrate it and let me be free out there. And I didn't have to think. I wrestled really easy, and I was always at peace when I was wrestling, and I didn't care win, lose, or draw. I didn't care anymore, and that opened me wide up.
Right.
So, and then I got second that year.
What did you pray for on alone when you're out in the woods? What did you pray for?
Well, I was just thankful. I didn't pray for anything. I was just giving thanks. Yeah, just credit. Just amazing. Like, if I got a food, I would thank the blessing that I had the ability to get it, or this fish decided to, I'm not the big pray over a dead fish or animal and thank the animal. I'm not he created them for me to eat them, so he's not upset. I don't need to.
So you mentioned that you've had, or you're violent natured or whatever, and I'm curious how you feel like, so you were a wrestler, how organized sport like that, or having like an outlet, like a physical outlet, helped you as a young man figure out how to kind of control those things.
I think it's crucial. I think we've moved so far away from raising young men that we're having the problems we're having in our society. Is that we don't allow them to fail. We've got mothers that don't allow their kids to struggle. We don't teach what it means to be a man. We don't, like, my 11-year-old spent the night out in the woods by himself on my property.
That's awesome.
He wanted to, so I said yes, and he made it to like 1 a.m. and he's like, I can't sleep, and Dad, I'll come out and visit. Like, I'll come and see you. Yeah. And he was a good, quarter mile from the house, so in the middle of our property. So, like, I don't think we stress it enough that we create that, but unfortunately, there's a lot of kids like me growing up without a dad. Yeah. So, and we're in that right now. So for me, that's why I coach wrestling now, and I want to be a part of the youth. I want to find those kids, those diamonds, essentially these violent natured kids that have seen things they probably didn't need to see growing up, and there's more and more of it. And I think that wrestling and contact sports or something independent like that has rules, and I can take a violent natured kid that gets trouble in school because he can't let his energy out. Yeah. And it's
like a controlled outlet.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it has rules, and I can say, hey, you can go 100% on this kid. These are the things you can and can't do. Yep. And that's why boxing and, jiu-jitsu or anything like that, it's an outlet that will take a kid who's soft because he's been a certain way, or you can take a soft kid who's been sheltered and put him in MMA or wrestling. Yep. And his testosterone rises, and he starts to learn to fight back, and his whole mood changes. And then you take a violent natured kid and you stick him in it, and he calms down.
That's so interesting. Yeah. I feel like there is such a the way our society has decided to deal with young men, kind of like you were alluding to, has been so toxic that, men are not allowed to be men. Men are not allowed to exhibit, their nature, which is violence. It's testosterone. I mean, and to have
testosterone
football, but I feel like to have that outlet is so important. And so I have 3 kids. I have a daughter and I've got 2 little boys. So it's interesting for me trying to navigate this. So my oldest son, he's only 2.5. Our little guy, he's how old is he now? 8 months. And so it's interesting now with them just being these little guys, trying to figure out, how do I nurture you to grow up to be strong men and have control over your your impulses, and
how do you nurture their nature?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's the perfect way to put it.
That's the biggest argument. Is it nurture or nature? Well, it's nature, but you got to nurture it.
And so for someone like Wyatt or anyone else who has a couple of young boys, or that's the hope one day, what's your advice for raising young men?
My advice is to let their instincts, let boys be boys, and my wife and I made some pretty clear rules.
Not allowed to say that anymore. Not allowed to say you let boys be boys.
Yeah. There was a whole
what was that Gillette commercial?
Yeah, Gillette that got
stupid.
Anyways, my wife and I kind of set it up. We had a daughter and then 4 sons, and we separated who was going to raise. And it was tough. My wife's, only child, and she was raised by an strong, independent woman, and this whole feminism stuff. And she had to learn the hard stuff that a successful marriage, man and woman, husband, biblically, is that the man leads under God and the wife is under husband, and they both live in that light of God. And the unfortunate side for our society is we're pushing women to be equals to men, and the only way you can push that is to take the masculinity away from men. You just can't do it. So,
it's not, the word isn't equal. The word is the same, and it's not the same, right?
You're right.
It's like, doesn't mean one isn't greater than the other, but they're just so different.
We are so different, and that's and
not allowed to say that anymore.
We get into these roles and all that stuff. So, for me, and I'll quote Jordan Peterson. I like some of the stuff. I love listening to Jordan Peterson, but he says for young boys is to let them do dangerous things cautiously. And that's how I raise my boys. Like, they fall down, I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you got to realize that's pain. That's going to happen.
Right. So long as you're, a bone's not sticking out of your leg,
and
you're good to go.
The one thing my wife and I did was really well is we communicated how we were going to raise our kids before we had kids. So we knew like what age we were going to start assigning book reports, what age we were going to start, timeout wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Like things we were going to do. We're not going to spank my kid. Sure, I'm going to pop my kid, but I did like the spanking game when they were little, like the 2-year-old in a diaper or whatever. When we did the spanking game, they would crawl through my legs and I would smack them in the diaper, and there'd be pillows, and I'd hit them and they'd fly under the legs, and I would increase the amount of smack, and it was associated with fun, and I was walloping those kids.
and
then when it came time to discipline, I dialed it way down to the first one, and I popped him on the butt, but it was a stern no from Dad.
Right.
And there was never need for pain in the spanking. That hurt more.
It was like the emotional aspect.
That Dad would pop.
That's cool.
And I was measured, so I tested it in play and knew that I wasn't hurting my kid.
Right.
And so we knew all of that ahead of time, how we were going to, when was book reports and when are they going to read and have to get punished that way. So we thought about that stuff way before, and there was still a struggle because you got to let go of that control. When Lisa, my wife, she'd never seen a dad discipline a son. She's an only child.
Right.
So she didn't realize there's a huge difference between disciplining daughters and disciplining sons. And she'd always be like, you need to go upstairs and hug your boy. And I was like, no, I don't. Right now he needs to sit in it.
Yeah.
Like he needs to know Dad was disappointed. I raised my voice at him and he did what he did was wrong. And that happened all through all 4 boys. And
it's amazing, like for me, because again, my kids are little. They're little. But already the difference between, my daughter who's 4 and my son who's 2.5 could not be more clear.
Right.
I mean, it is so obvious that they are not going to respond to the same kind of punishment or discipline.
They're not. And
different.
That's the key to it also, is your role in each child's life is different.
Yeah.
Your role as a dad is to be an example for your daughter on what a man is.
Right.
And then for your son, it's it's harder because there's expectations that you have now for him, and he has to see you as an example of a man he wants to be.
Yeah.
Right. And as dads, you're going to see this. They're not going to understand it till they're grown, but you're going to do things for them, and it's going to be rough for you, but you're the only man alive that wants your boys to be better than you. There's not another person alive that wants your son to do better than them.
Yeah.
Except your boys.
Yeah.
So, and your kids. And that's what I want for my children.
That's cool.
And so you're going to be like, hey, I need you to listen to me. I know what's around that corner, but I also have to be able to let go and say, go find out for yourself.
Absolutely.
So, but what I kind of say I am for my kids, grown or not, is I like the analogy that we're all on our own train. So at some age, you get a chance to jump ship on dad's train and build your own tracks and run your own engine and shovel your own coal. And I'm not going to be there to do that. You got to keep your engine rolling. And everybody knows where our trains end. It's death. So right now you're on dad's train. So you're going to have to listen. There's some jobs we got to do. You got to listen to me. I'm the engineer. I run this train. And once you're old enough, jump ship, get on your own train. And when you're on your own train, mine's way ahead of you. But I'm going to lay some signs out. I'm going to let you know there's a curve ahead. I'm going to let you know there's a hazard ahead, or slow down, this bridge isn't. That's my job. I'm just an advisory guy at that point. I'm not telling you what to do. I just want you to be advised because I want you to succeed.
Definitely.
Sooner than I did. I want you to do better than I did in my
25
20s.
days, 26 days.
Yeah, like do better, like at least 25. Survive 25.
One day more.
One day more.
So have you felt like you've been able to, how old is your oldest son, did you say?
He's 24.
24. Okay. So he's, how old are you? 25?
26.
26. So a couple of years younger than him. But how have you felt like you've been able to, do you feel like you've been able to maintain like an open communication between you and your sons where like they feel like they can come to you for things, or they feel like they can?
Because there's a bridge, right? There's a bridge between their kids and they're on dad's train to now they're on their own train, and dad's just here to help if he can.
Right.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff on dad's train.
Yeah.
Right. There's all kinds of stuff on dad's train. So they don't get to come over, but they get to ask and talk, and that helps out. But there is a parenting, and you'll experience this, and I don't know, I pay attention to how people are. I just pay attention to human behavior. I like to witness it, and and it's not that I'm trying to poke and point out anybody's flaws as parents or anything like that. I can see how a kid's being raised with my past experiences and know that there's reasons parenting why this kid is acting a certain way.
Yeah. Right.
So I knew that going into it. My daughter's like 11 or 12 years old, and I told her, I remember this vividly. We're driving in New York, in Watertown, New York, and we were driving to the store, and I was like, listen, sweetie, in about 2 years, you're going to think Mom and I are crazy. You're going to think our rules don't apply to you, or they're dumb and we don't know what we're talking about. You're going to think you're smarter than us, all these things. And I said, that's normal. Your body's going to go through that, and you're not going to like us. And she started crying. She's like, I'll never not like Mommy and Daddy. I was like, I'm just letting you know, but I kind of said it ahead of time, and she went through it and she experienced it. But it was good for her to know that there's a window where you're self-identifying. You're trying to discover yourself as a young person. Those hormones are important, and young boys they're gonna act out. They're gonna lash out. Like my oldest boy, he said there was a moment he was like 14, and my wife corrected him on something, and he raised his voice at her. And I looked at him sideways, and I was like, excuse me? And he's just like, dropped his head. And I said, that's okay, but you have to understand it's your mother. And I know that you don't really know what that feels like right now, that you just burst it out, but you got to learn to control that. So
and I like that you mentioned Jordan Peterson. I actually almost did earlier on in the conversation, but because there's one thing that Jordan Peterson said. I used to listen to him quite a bit. There's one thing that he said that stuck with me like forever. Like it's like the one thing. It's like the biggest thing he said that have stuck with me was advice to young men. It was learn to be a monster and then learn to control it. That
I say that all the time.
Yeah, from Jordan Peterson.
It's not so much. And the funny thing about Jordan, I'd love to talk to him sometime, is I've said all these things, but I'm not nearly as articulate and studied as he is.
Right.
But we have the same philosophies on life. Raising 4 boys. I have a monster. It was and mine's pretty bad. It's like on steroids for a while. I saw some things and went through stuff in life, and wrestling allowed me to cage it.
Yeah.
And then I put it away and then wrestled for years without even needing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the best part is I went to combat and I never brought him out.
Yep.
So I don't need him, but I know now when I would use him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to let him out, but it would be if it was
though,
in that survival with my family or my wife and kids and I'm threatened. I think
that can mean a lot of things, but to me what that has meant and how I've applied that to my life, when I think of learning to be a monster, I think of it like being capable of fighting for what you want and attacking something aggressively.
Sure.
And be in pursuit of something, have goals, be driven, be a monster, right? Like we have as men this, and as you talk about your 14-year-old boy lashing out, right? That's so natural. We all have this drive, and as men, we need fulfillment in ways of accomplishment, right? Like just wanting to go out in the woods and see how long you can do this. Challenges like that. We need to feel success through what we're doing, whether that's leading a family or maybe it's trying to grow a podcast, right? Whatever it is, we need as men to have goals and learn how to fight for them and work hard.
No, I agree that there's a form of assertion that could be implied with that.
Yeah.
But in the end, the monster is the one you never need to see. And the question is, there was a survey or women were asked, would you kill for your baby? I would kill for my wife. I'd kill for you. Like, I don't care if your life is in danger. That's my monster. Right. I know I needed that monster to know that I'm capable of that.
Right.
It is an action in the face of danger is the monster. Because when you learn that monster, when you know he's there and present, and everyone should have one, women too, you should know it because you need to recognize that you do have one and then teach it.
And how do you learn to control it?
That's how it is. It's just discipline of your nature. So let your monster out and then train. Do something that's violent. Do something that you know you can control so that you can build a scenario that if life ever happens. I probably lived every single scenario you can imagine.
And when you say
I've lived it.
When you say go do something violent, you mean like go join a wrestling team?
100%.
Right. Yeah.
Do something that teaches you a skill set that's in that world. Take some punches. Go throw some punches. Spar with your buddy and say, hey, we're gonna wear the headgear and we're gonna throw punches. Yeah. Do things that we don't do it anymore. Like you used to be able to settle differences if you had an argument. The way men argue is this is the complication. And this is why we have so many problems in a lot of reasons. You don't get your punk card pulled anymore. You get to run your mouth, pull your phone out and video it, and then when you get decked for running your mouth, which used to be normal,
right?
And it's a responsibility of someone to pull your punk card. You used to learn respect. You used to learn there was boundaries. So when men differ, if I have a disagreement with somebody and it gets emotional and it's heated, instantly we're measuring each other up.
Right.
Am I going to take this to the edge where I want mutual combat with this person?
Right.
You want the monster is the guy is the thing that you allow yourself the energy to develop so that someone can look at you and say, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
you know what I mean?
The way I think of it, it's like if you've got a gun, you never want to have to use it.
Right.
But it'd be better to have it and need it when you need it, have it when you need it.
100%. The only way you can have peace is to be prepared for war.
Right.
Yep.
I think that's a motto we should.
That's cool. Yeah.
We should all have, and I think that's our current motto with our, Department of War. Finally, is the only way you prepare for peace, or have peace, is to prepare for war.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's it. So that's how I think men should look. I think we need to reevaluate who we are. Is that I'm capable, and I can't ask a woman to be my wife if I can't protect her.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and girls get all wrapped up around this submissive
that's toxic
obey
masculinity.
in your vows to say I'll obey you. But if you're not willing to obey me, it doesn't mean that go get me this and go get me that. It means if I tell you to run, you're not going to ask why.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm responsible for you, so therefore I have to have the authority. which means you should want to obey your husband because his role is to step in front of danger for you.
Yeah.
So he needs to direct you to do stuff, and that's why it's there. You want to be there.
Absolutely.
So what about for men like me? So I'm young, I'm single, I'm 26 years old, and I have a ton of friends who are in my stage of life who are just in their 20s. What would your advice be for young men? Or maybe if you could go back and tell 25-year-old, I guess you were in a much different stage of life. You were in the military, but
I was 8 years in.
What advice would you have for young men?
I think is don't get so caught up in the race. You'll find your person, find yourself. You're going to create. I talk to my boys about it all the time. Like, you're like a stock. Young men are like stocks. They rise and fall with value all the time. But if you could maintain a stock and you had the effort and it's your personal and you could improve it to increase its stock value,
good.
you should.
Yeah.
You should always be looking to improve your stock value. Well, the only people that can afford your stock, they've worked too.
Yeah.
And you don't just give it away.
Yeah.
To the one person that comes along. There's got to be values. There's got to be markers for that girl that you want because your value's up. So work on you. You've got time. Like that's the best advice I could give a young man is focus on yourself. Get fit, get an education, get a trade, and then start being independent.
Right.
That's the attractor. Get off the video games.
Get off the video games. No TV,
as a grown man.
no TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, everything in moderation.
Yeah. Well, hey, Nate, we kind of covered a lot there. Particularly, I think the more important things was the squirrel.
Sure.
How many squirrels can kill you?
How
many squirrels can kill
We haven't established a number for me
Two
yet.
different animals. Nate, I'm super glad you came on. Thanks so much.
It's been great, brother. It's been great.
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, hey, maybe your next show will get you on again.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
They're asking, so we'll
Are they
see.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
We'll see.
And when would that be?
I don't know. I'm not
You
gonna
don't know
tell
yet,
you
but you're down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right. Well, afterwards, hit me
for
up
sure.
and we'll make it
100%.
happen. All right.
You got it, brother.
All right. Hey, seriously. I
That
really
was
appreciate it.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was
Good,
great.
guys. That's awesome. Traverse City, huh?
Traverse City, yeah. I think
city
it's home
boy.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
I really am an outdoor
Tell by your
guy.
hair.
Like I.
That's what I can tell by your hair.
Yeah. You got to come like more towards the center of the state to be a little more grizzly.